Surviving Reality contains explicit content full of snark and sarcasm that may not be suitable for all audiences. Listener discretion is advised.
Hello and welcome to Surviving Reality.
I'm Corey.
And I'm Carly, and this is Seeking Sister Wife, Season 6, Episode 3. Freaky stuff is going on here.
There's some hoes in this house. Or something.
Okay, I thought that they were going to be referencing the Davis family.
You know, like, it's not fair to just always go to the Davis family for the freaky stuff, but, like, they're getting freaky. It's the hot tub atmosphere and stuff, and then they did have hot tub stuff in this episode, too. But, man, I have a lot to say about the Davises this episode. I was cracking myself up upstairs.
We were worried that the magic would be gone without Dannielle, and I'm no longer concerned about that.
Not worried about that. Yeah,
No.
They still know how to bring it. They can keep this entertaining, for sure.
So in this episode, Dannielle Merrifield finds it difficult to make room for Lorrana in her home with Garrick. Nick Davis navigates his uncertain feelings for Teresa. Matt Johnson and Shanay go to a hotel. The Peraltas are in the hot seat with Yessel's brother. Why do they sometimes feel the need to use people's last names, but then, like, not for everybody?
I think it's when they're trying to refer to them as a group instead of just listing off.
That's because they
individual
keep
names.
Casting Dannielle's.
Yeah, there's too many Dannielles.
It's a big problem on this show.
Because then you have Dani, Dannielle, and then if the Davises still had their Dannielle, that would have been another Dannielle.
So is that becoming like a red flag for polyamory? Is if your name's Dannielle?
Yeah, things to keep an eye on.
I'll let you choose who we're going to go with first.
My notes have the Davis family first.
So do mine.
So I am ready to talk about the Davis family. Always ready. Nick and April and Jennifer, and then they're adding in Teresa here.
All right, we're going to have to address that Teresa was on the internet between last week and this week.
Okay, yes.
She was on a podcast, and she was, I guess, spilling the tea about what really goes on behind the scenes. And she shared some things.
A few things.
She claims that all of the women do sleep with each other in the family.
They go weird, as Mary would say on Sister Wives.
Which I don't care, but I guess her point was that TLC won't let them talk about it.
That's too racy. They know the Sister Wives audience is okay with polyamory with one man, multiple women, but not simultaneously.
I mean, I could totally see April and Jenny hooking up. I always forget Jenny's name. She doesn't add much. She just sits and stares.
She gets pregnant a lot.
That's true.
That's what she's contributing.
She could go to the Merrifield home.
She could, but then that
right
would
in.
make Sister very upset, I think. We'll get to that too. But no, tonight it's date night for Nick and Teresa because we've been friends for a long, very, very long time. It sounded like Nick was concerned that he has Teresa in the friend zone and they're not going to be able to break out of that. So he's trying to ignite some spark between them here.
I told you I thought last week that he didn't seem like he was that into her.
There's like a monotony that's already in their relationship where he's not like excited about this. But I mean, he was excited to get dressed up. He's very pimped out, literally.
Okay. At first I felt bad thinking like that he does look like a pimp. Let me tell you why. Because one of the things Teresa shared on this podcast was that she's, in her own words, a hooker or was a hooker.
Can we say that?
I don't know. I don't know what's
like
acceptable.
For like...
I chose a word that I thought like maybe wouldn't get flagged, but I really don't know.
I think you need to say it. She's a hookah.
A hookah.
Yeah. Okay. She's a hookah. Maybe we'll say that. Is that a way around it? No, that probably gets flagged too. I don't know. There's no way to talk about this stuff anymore.
We'll just rebrand it. It's a Sopranos podcast.
She's a whore. All right?
No.
She was.
Don't say that.
She was.
Now you're really getting us in trouble.
Okay. She was a guma? Huh?
No.
That's
what she's trying to be here.
She's trying to now. Yeah. Okay. I didn't. There's stuff we need to talk about, though, with Teresa, too. Okay. Like, I didn't realize how tall she was. She's an Amazonian woman. I was not aware of this. I didn't catch it last week. And then now with the date, when Nick came in and then they stood up, hugged and kissed at the table, it was like a Lord of the Rings forced perspective shot with Gandalf and Frodo, where I was like, How far away is the camera?
It was so funny. Like he's really like at least a foot shorter. And I don't care, do your thing. But the shots with the two of them standing next to each other are just really funny.
It looks funny. It looks strange. Well, and then they're like leaning into that too.
It's giving Flavor Flav, isn't it?
A little bit. And like the parts of it that get me too is not that he's worried about, oh, they're in the friend zone and that's kind of this mental divide. Maybe it's because she's picking you up and twirling you around. Like maybe that's not your ideal romance, you know? Like, is that the issue that we're having here? Is she intimidating this man into a relationship?
I think so.
That's what I'm starting to lean towards now, as for my theory.
She's already moved into their house. Like, this has moved very quickly. How do they know her? Because they said they've known her for 14 years. At what time does that, it had to have crossed over with the time period where she was hooking?
Was when she was a working woman.
Yes. Because I could believe that origin story.
Well, like, yeah, they were talking about they've been friends for like 14 years. And so there's this long storied history between them too. She was talking about how it feels like they've known each other in a past life, that there was a bell within her soul that she needed to have the strength and courage to ring, and that would bring him to her.
I'm telling you, she's full of bullshit. She does not have strong feelings for him, and he doesn't know what's going on here. I think he's trying to suss out the situation because she's acting like she's very, very into it, but also she's getting something out of this, right? She's moved into the house. She wants them already to start dating someone else so that she can marry them. She can change her last name to Davis. She could, I don't know, be on the show for another 3-4 seasons. Like, I just think that there's something more beneficial for her being here than them having her in the family.
She's ready for a legal marriage, and she knows that she needs to marry another woman in this setup. So she's ready to already start recruiting. And Nick is kind of having difficulty explaining to her that, like, you're not really in this family yet. But I think he's kind of scared too, because she could probably take him.
You're still auditioning, girl.
But he doesn't want to say that, though, because then she might get upset. She might pick him up and throw him somewhere.
Well, the biggest mistake was letting her move in, don't you think? Because that makes it feel like it's a very serious relationship. And yet he's still trying to figure out how to transition this from friendship to, is there even anything romantic here?
Well, and I'm still just visually seeing him get swept up in her arms and twirled around on the sidewalk again. Like, that's what keeps playing in my head, is that he's just hopping up into a baby Bjorn on her chest. And that's how they're going to and from date night. It's just a really interesting dynamic that's coming to light now that I don't know how we didn't pick up on that last week.
I'm excited to see her get angry because I think she's really been holding back. And I don't think she's going to take it well when they ultimately tell her that they aren't interested in her being part of the family long term.
Newsflash. Yeah, this was a temporary trial period. And I don't think we want to subscribe to, the lifelong terms here.
She's like kind of like a squatter.
She's getting dangerously close.
She moved and she's already getting mail delivered there in her name. She's never leaving.
Never. Yeah, because even on their like wind down, relaxing evening time here, Nick and April and Jennifer, right? It's Jennifer. Okay, yeah, Jennifer. Yeah, they're all like shocked that Teresa would be bringing up, oh, I would like to marry someone so that I could become part of the Davis family immediately. Also, here's a great idea. I had already been mentally preparing to marry a woman to join your family. The person I was mentally preparing to marry was Dannielle. So maybe we should give Dannielle a call and try and get her back on. And honestly, as soon as she said it, I was like, that's the best idea I've ever heard. I mean, for the show.
She has a future in production.
Yeah, like that's a great idea. I love what that would do for the show.
Bring Dannielle back.
Bringing Dannielle back.
Just have her come for a test date. Yeah. Just to meet Teresa.
Just to see how it goes. But it was like a rough breakup, and they don't want to ever talk to Dannielle ever again. Pretty much is the vibe that I got from that.
It was so funny that she brought that up, though. She must not know. Either doesn't know or doesn't care about what they think about the relationship with Dannielle. Maybe she was just trying to put that out there because she felt like that would be the fastest route.
You guys already
to
know
locking
Dannielle.
this in.
Yeah, like you wanted to have Dannielle join your family
You know her,
anyway.
you know me.
If Dannielle wanted to be the last wife, well, now I'm established here, and so she could just join in and then mold into this, right? So that's best of both worlds. That works for everybody.
But could you imagine her and Dannielle being married to one another?
No.
Don't you feel like she would walk all over Dannielle?
Literally, yes.
She'd be so timid.
Yeah, there would be zero pushback. Nobody would be able to stand up to this woman, literally.
The silk pajamas. Were you surprised that Nick didn't have a pair? Because everyone else did. It feels like it fits with his aesthetic.
Okay, I see what you're getting at, but I also would assume that Nick sleeps in the nude.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there are no PJs in that room.
Well, it's hot in that bed with all those people.
You get loaded up. It's just, the BTUs ramp up real quick. It's exponential under those covers.
Are you surprised that they all sleep? First of all, we haven't seen her get in that bed yet. I must have a shot of that.
Oh my God, yeah. She probably has to lay sideways on the bed.
The family bed? Yeah.
Like she can't go.
They're going to have to add another bed lengthwise.
Oh boy.
Or what is it?
Width.
No, the width is fine. Lengthwise. I was right. Why did I question myself? She got to make it longer.
Oh, okay.
For the height. You're saying they need to make it wider?
No. Well, if she's laying,
Danielle's coming back.
She's laying across it. Sizest?
Oh, no.
That was horrible.
They barely fit 4 people into the bed. When we last saw it, they can't fit 5.
I don't think they're stopping after 4 wives. Like they're going to keep adding people.
Then they're going to need to start sleeping like Willy Wonka style.
Yeah, they're going to need
the
multiple
grandparents
beds.
in Willy Wonka.
You can't have bigger beds than this. This whole room is a bed at this point. You're just going to have the floor is the mattress and you just lay wherever you can.
I don't even understand how Teresa and her son are living in this house because weren't they running out of room already?
I guess Dannielle had a lot of plants taking up a lot of space. And so
the whole plant room's cleared out now.
She cleared it out. Yeah, she's all gone.
We get the hot tub scene because Nick and Teresa head out to the hot tub while everyone else goes to sleep, supposedly. Or maybe while April and Jenny are getting freaky upstairs in the boom boom room.
Yeah. After a little bit of boxed wine and then, some lowered inhibitions and gets the creative juices flowing.
This was awkward. It's always uncomfortable when we see Nick in the hot tub, but for some reason, just the dynamic between the two of them, you can tell that she's so much more into him or pretending to be so much more into him. You know what it's giving? Escort.
Okay.
You know when an escort pretends that they're into the person that they're on a date with?
Right.
Because, you're
That's
getting
their job.
paid to do that.
Yeah.
That's how I feel she's acting towards him.
I think that she is trying to be incredibly accommodating and going along with everything. But then as soon as she gets established in this family, she's going to be a menace.
Oh, I think she's going to take it over.
She's going to try to.
Nick's going to have to go to work because she's going to stay home.
Something's going to change.
She's going to take the leadership position.
Right. Yeah, because when they were going out to the hot tub, I thought she was going to chuck him into the hot tub at one point too. I was like, oh God. The height difference was on full display as well. Again.
They do go to the boom boom room after.
They're trying to get out of the friend zone. And this was where Nick was talking about how it sounds like Nick is not into her by the things that he is saying here, where he's worried that they're stuck in the friend zone. Yeah, they still go to the boom boom room because he's not going to pass that up, but it's not really unlocking any loving feelings for him because it's probably scary. A little bit. A little scary.
Well, I think he can have sex with anyone.
Yes, but I don't think he feels safe in the boom boom room alone with Teresa is what I'm getting at.
Keep the door cracked.
Yeah. There has to be a trust and intimacy. Maybe a little scary is okay, but the level of scary that he's experiencing he's not okay with that.
Maybe that's why she's sharing with us that other people were invited into the room. When she said on the podcast that the women do get together.
Yeah, specifically when Nick feels
afraid in numbers
for his own life and security. Yeah, at that point, he needs to bring in reinforcements. But this sounded like everything that he was saying. He's already thinking of an exit strategy of how are we going to nudge Teresa out of here So I don't think he's very attached to her the way that she's attached to them.
No, I'm very excited because this is going to go disastrously wrong.
He was talking about how he wanted to, if, it's a big if, because we don't know, we're not there yet, we haven't made any decisions, but if we decide to not move forward in a relationship status, I still want to maintain that friendship, that wonderful friendship that we've had for all these years. It's not going to be the same, bro. Like, she is going to go full scorched earth. She's going to go full single white female on her exit. She is not going to be down with just shifting back to the friend who's watching from afar as you enjoy all of your family dynamic that's going on.
Yeah, I think he's already thinking she's either going to try to burn down the house or she's going to like swat them or something.
Yeah, this is, we have to take all of these considerations into account before we make any drastic decisions.
How about the Johnson family? So this is one of the newer families.
Yeah,
Matt,
this one,
Anjelica, and Shanay.
Yeah, because like this one was kind of not a whole lot going on this episode. It was like one scene of them.
Their story's been really slow so far.
Very slow.
I just think they're a little bit boring.
Also, I don't think that Matt's good at this. Like, I don't know how this has been going on for 3 years. Again, with seeing like there's a monotony in some of these relationships where it's just like, is this good? Is this working? And I think that's what Shanay keeps asking herself.
It does feel like she's on the side, right? And that when he has time to get around to hanging out with her, he does.
They meet
sleep
up and
together.
Bang. Yeah, they bang.
And then they go their separate ways. And they've been doing that for 3 years.
It's like a hookup. It's like a set hookup thing.
Yes.
But like she doesn't have the support of the family altogether. Like it doesn't feel like one unified family. It feels like a guy with a side piece.
Yeah. So when we left them the last episode, they decided they were going to go to a hotel because she was complaining about the fact. Are you okay?
Well, when you say it like that, it's like, well, and same thing with their relationship dynamic. When Matt was hearing Shanay's concerns last episode, where she was like, I need more attention and like individual time, intimate time. And he was like,
oh, let's just get a room.
Oh, you need me to bang you more? Okay, I'll do that.
That's what they're not even to the room. They're walking down the hallway and he's talking about how he wants to get her undressed. And she's like, okay, I thought we were just coming here to spend time together because that was my complaint, was that you don't make enough time for me. I don't want to just like hook up with you in the hotel room and then you go home.
She was talking about quality time spent together. So she wants to talk to him in a serious manner. And the only thing that he's talking about is sex.
I do think she's realizing that this relationship to her is a lot more serious than maybe it is to him and Anjelica.
Yeah. And so that's a little bit scary because then how do you bring this up? This is kind of an awkward setting for this conversation too, because especially if, I don't know if they've like met halfway at a hotel. And so this is their normal like hookup pattern too, to save some time. But like, I think she is doing a good job of expressing, hey, I need more than just sex. And my complaint that I was raising here is that I need more than that. I need the focus and attention and to feel like we're all in this together type of a thing.
She wants to blend their families together, which when they live as far away from each other as they do, it doesn't even sound like her daughter really has a relationship with him.
Right. Yeah. Like it seems like she's kept him from interacting with her daughter because she's unsure of how this is going to go. But how have you been doing that for 3 years? That's really a long time to be in this kind of uncertainty and just moving forward ahead, just kind of plowing through this.
I don't know.
Literally.
We need to know more about that though, because that's what makes it feel like this is like a double life almost.
Yeah. And
I mean, not so much on Matt's part because Anjelica is fully aware of what's going on, but it's almost like that's what Shanay is experiencing.
Well, and then also any solution to this is like, oh, have we considered moving closer? But then it's immediately Matt asking Shanay to move closer to Matt and Anjelica. And Shanay's like, I can't do that. And then Matt's response, though, is that like, well, the area where Shanay lives is way more expensive. so they wouldn't be able to move closer to her either. So if they did want to move closer as a solution, Shanay would need to move closer to them. So it's like working around where if it is something that you want to see a change, they're asking you to do something to fix that.
That's why I just don't think this is going to go anywhere, like anywhere positive.
It doesn't look like it's on the right track here.
No, and it looks like in the preview, so she tees up in this episode that she has something that she wants to sit down and talk to the two of them together about. I was worried that maybe she was pregnant.
Oh, God.
But the preview for
Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. She's pregnant.
No.
No.
Luckily, she's not, because that would really complicate this, because Matt would have to figure out, well, which house do I go to? Which bedtime do I show up for? Much like, the Cody Brown debacle.
Very much so. And then we also rounded out this segment in a very Cody Brown way with a full body massage. Clothed, but full body massage nonetheless.
But it sounds like what she's going to bring up next week is that she wants to start seeing other people.
She's going to date around. Yeah, if there is something better out there for her, because this doesn't seem to be working. And then it doesn't really have a path for long-term success, which honestly, I don't blame her.
I think that's going to break Anjelica, because Anjelica really wants this relationship for a friendship.
I think Anjelica knows that Matt's really bad with relationships. So to watch him like mess this one up enough where she's going to go and date other people and leave, that's going to be very illuminating for her in a couple of ways too, I hope.
But if we lose any family along the way, because sometimes that happens in Seeking Sister Wife, I'm guessing it's going to be them. This better get a whole lot more interesting. Like, we better see her go on dates and Matt get jealous.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna...
putting a for sale sign up in front of the house.
Yeah, he won't like her dating at all. And then Anjelica's just going to be upset because it's basically like a soft breakup for Shanay to leave them, essentially.
The Merrifields? Garrick is still wearing his king crown.
I don't know if he's ever going to take it off at this point.
I'm still confused about how this was part of the party theme, because it's not his birthday.
No, but
Dani doesn't have a crown. It is her
birthday.
birthday.
Her Dani.
They call her Dani.
They call her Dani? Okay.
Yeah.
I call her Dannielle with 2 N's and 2 L's. I know that's longer, but that's just how I refer to her.
We can just call her sister.
I don't want to. So Dannielle with 2 N's and 2 L's is wearing a tiara. So maybe he would feel left out. Like, you can't hurt Garrick's feelings, because if Dannielle with 2 N's and 2 L's wears a tiara, that's going to make Garrick's pee-pee feel small. He's going to feel overlooked. He's not going to feel like the king in the castle.
Yeah.
So you need to make him feel like the king in the castle.
You can't be a queen without the king.
Right. Yeah. So I think that's the emphasis here. The other thing that upset me is that there was no crown for Lorrana. So even though Garrick and Dannielle, so is this like a power flex on her that she didn't even really pick up on, where it was like, oh, they have the crowns, they're the royalty in the house, and I am now their loyal subject. Like, I need to accommodate them. Maybe I'm reading into the subtext a little too much.
We needed somebody to bring that up to her. Pull Roberta number 3 over to the side and start asking her about the crowns. How do you feel about that? Where's yours?
Did you get a crown? Did you get a tiara? No, they didn't have one of those for you? Oh, that's weird.
So it's still Dannielle's birthday. Garrick's still outside talking to Dannielle's brother, Sam. And he did bring up the prenup to Lorrana, which makes me feel a little better, because at least she had a chance. Whether or not she did, who knows? But she had an opportunity to look into what that could mean for her and ask questions. I don't think she did, because Garrick didn't even actually follow through with getting the prenup set up.
You know, the prenup sounds like something that they kind of started on, because then Garrick's talking to Mark Ruffalo about how, we called some lawyers and they never called us back.
No, it was, he called the same guy.
We called one lawyer.
One singular attorney, and the guy didn't call him back after 5 phone calls.
So, I mean, I'm pretty much out of options at that point. I called the lawyer who is in our town, and he was unavailable. So I went online. They can't say LegalZoom, but I mean, I'm assuming that's probably where we landed here based on search results.
Yeah, he went and found a generic prenup. and thinks they'll just write in whatever else they want.
You can customize it to have it say anything you want in there.
I'm so concerned about this just because, so is it going to be in Portuguese? Because Garrick doesn't know a lick of Portuguese.
What I'm worried about here is the way that this is sounding, because it sounds like this is a lot of work for Garrick to go ahead and put together this prenup. What he's going to run into is Roberta number 3 is going to say, hey, I have one. It's drafted up. It's in Portuguese, though. Would you like to sign it? And he'll say, that's pretty easy. I just need to sign this one. And he'll sign it without even reading it or getting it translated, because he's going to say, well, it's very important that we get a prenup. Yes, I got a prenup. And then Mark Ruffalo is going to have a heart attack when he finds out, oh my God, you just blindly signed Lorrana's Portuguese prenup?
Garrick is just, he gives fuck up energy, just like Submit on 90 Day. So I don't know why Dannielle's brother just didn't go ahead and you hire the attorney.
Yeah.
You help get this done, because this man's not capable of doing that on his own.
He's not going to do it. And you are at risk. You are the one who's exposed here in this, because it's your business too. And that could go down the drain. But then, yeah, if they lose the house, like his sister, Dannielle with 2 N's and 2 L's, is not legally married to Garrick. So she doesn't have legal claim on anything now for the house. Her parents live there with them. There's so many people in this family who rely on this fuck up of a man. And it's only a matter of time before everything just implodes.
It's truly terrifying.
It's scary. Like, I'm afraid of having people rely on me. If I was such an idiot, the way that Garrick is an idiot, I would like have to live alone in the woods too. Because it's like, I cannot have anyone rely on me. The way that this man has people relying on him, this is terrifying.
I have a feeling that the attorney never called him back, because what do you think those voicemails sounded like from him?
Hello?
You think he thought that he didn't realize that he was on a voicemail? That he just started talking?
Yeah, he just never answered
Hello?
me. I asked all these questions.
Hello?
And hi, I'm looking to draft I have another Brazilian woman who I'm planning to marry. Hello? Hello?
It just cut off before he even got his contact information in there.
They had no idea what was going on. No idea. Well, I loved the family bonding that was going on too in the kitchen as well, where they were making Roberta number 3 feel like part of the family, because she was talking about how she cried the whole way there. Every part of the trip. When she left, when she was on the plane, when she landed, she was crying the whole time. And they were like, oh yeah, that's just what this family does. We cry all the time. Is that a comforting thing to just know that there's just perpetual sadness around you, that everyone is always upset?
This is going to be a lot for Garrick to handle, between Dannielle crying all the time and now Lorrana crying all the time.
They're both setting each other off too. Yeah, but the laugh from Dannielle with 2 N's and 2 L's when the crying comes up about how it's just a constant thing that always happens. The pain in that laugh lets you know everything that you need to know about what's going on in this house.
Well, today is not only her birthday and the day that Roberta number 3 arrived here, it's also the 2-year anniversary of when Garrick proposed to Roberta number 2. I forgot that was her birthday.
It's a tradition. Well, yeah, I mean, Garrick forgot it was her birthday too. So it's a tradition to just do all of these things on her birthday, your wife's birthday, well, ex-wife's birthday, adding a sister to the family.
Yeah, I don't know. Now I have a theory, because we were wondering why would they have her arrive today of all days. I'm thinking that maybe it's to make this day a different memory, because it was of Roberta number 2 and then how that relationship fell apart. So now let's make it into a positive, happy memory by having it be the day that Lorrana came to join the family.
We have to, scrub that out. Update our save file here with something better than what happened previously. Because, now it's yucky energy. It's bad news. And we don't like that. We have to make it better.
I'm probably going to regret this, but I like Lorrana.
Through the process, because this was, as part of this episode, they were kind of moving Dannielle's stuff from her and Garrick's room, where she was taking some of her things down to the up to the sister room, which is upstairs. And so she was moving things around, and Lorrana was very comforting to her, like very supportive and helping Dannielle through this, because Dannielle was struggling, man. It was like she was packing for a trip, and I was like, are you going to do this every time you have to go to the sister room? Or is this just like, this is part of it? She was freaking out like she was moving overseas, like she wasn't going to be able to bring all of this stuff with her. It's the same house.
Yeah,
I don't come down to this closet again.
Know why she was acting like she can never enter that room again to go grab more stuff out of it.
I think Garrick made it very clear to her that when he closes that door and Lorrana's in there, Dannielle is not to come near that door. Like, you're not coming back in here.
Well, she had her last night with him, officially living in that room. See, I don't think that the first two Robertas would have let that slide, but Lorrana was nice, and she said, it's your birthday, you spend the night with Garricky.
I think Lorrana was a self-preservation move to say...
She's exhausted. She had a long travel day.
Yeah, she's not looking to jump right into bed with Garrick. I really don't think so. I think that was for her, and then it also works to the benefit of Dannielle as well. You get your birthday sex, too, even though it doesn't sound like she did. Sound like it went right to sleep.
No, he has to save everything up for tonight with Lorrana, because he's trying to impregnate her right away.
I think that's what's going on, yeah.
It was kind of sweet that they moved into the sister room together.
At first I thought, why didn't you do this before she got here? But then it kind of made more sense where it was like, oh, this is like you're making space for her. It is something that you're doing like together. So it made more sense that way. But at first I was like, why didn't you take care of this ahead of time?
It would feel really weird if you moved into the room and all of Dannielle's stuff was already in there.
Yeah.
And it's like she already chose where all of her stuff's going to go. And then you've got to just move into that room yourself. Like you're already in somebody's established space.
Yes. Then it feels like it's not something that you decided on together. You didn't do this. Well, and also you got to figure they've had a lot of no call, no shows. So I think Dannielle was like, I'm not going to move all my stuff to sister room and then have to bring it all back.
Let's see if she gets off the plane first.
Yeah, let's just see if she shows up, then we'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
The Peraltas, we had no Reese and Billie Jean this episode, and I felt like they were sorely missed.
Woo! Sorely missed.
I do not like Yessel.
Yeah, me either. I like Dani, though.
Yeah, although she feels a little bit like a doormat, and that's getting on my nerves.
Okay, so she's
and I don't like her motives.
Oh, see, I wouldn't call her a doormat necessarily, though, because like at this point, I feel like Dani does not like the way she's being treated. She is stuck in perpetually expecting better from this man who is unable to give her better. So like that's different than being a doormat. There's like doormat qualities in that where she keeps giving him second chances, and that makes it look like he's kind of walking all over her. I think she gets deeply upset every time he fails her. That's the difference.
Okay, I agree with that. I'm just worried that what we're going to see play out here is that once they get into dating, that he's going to get her to continually move her boundaries. He's going to push them out of the way, and that she's going to go along with it until she gets to her breaking point.
Okay, I think that was where, yeah, they had kind of a rocky start here this season, just because this is very similar territory to where they've had issues previously when they tried to date, where Yessel kind of jumps the gun and gets ahead of himself here and gets carried away, speeds things along, and then Dani feels uncomfortable, feels left out, feels like she's on the back burner. So they're going to sit down and have a conversation while folding laundry and kind of reinforce some of those boundaries that Dani was talking about. So they get on the same page again. This is what the expectations are. This is how we're going to move forward together.
Well, I didn't like that she used his ex-wife. So Leah, was her name Leah?
I think it was Leah. Yeah.
So she's friends with Leah. They had the discussion the first episode about the fact that they were looking to seek a sister wife again. And she uses her as an excuse to bring up this conversation about setting rules and boundaries.
Yeah, it was at her behest. It's not me bringing this to you.
See, that's already a red flag to me.
So that, well, maybe that's why she's seeing having a sister wife as kind of a benefit here, because then that would be a way to bring things up. It's not me bringing it up, someone else bringing it up who has these concerns.
We've seen that dynamic play out in the Brown family, and that does not work well.
No, it doesn't. I think the main thing that she's asking Yessel to do here is, hey, please consider me. Like, be considerate throughout this process and take my feelings into account, because that has not happened previously.
I think they're going to need a lot of rules for him, because he just assumed the last time that he acted like he was just single and dating.
To an extent. Well, and then there was already, like, he was seeing it as more of a casual hangout with someone that he already knew. He already had a relationship previously with this person. They were friends in high school. So there was like a history there, and it was just like jumping from one thing to the next, where they spent all this time together. But then he wasn't letting Dani know that the plans were changing while they were changing.
I think there's two things going on. Yessel wants to just be able to go do whatever he wants with these other women. And I think that Dani's going to get very jealous. But then I feel like it's rooted in something that is fair, because he does feel like a boundary pusher to me. That it's like, okay, I'm going to go out to dinner with this woman. And then all of a sudden he's gone till 3:00 in the morning with zero communication.
Well, this is where Dani's pitching, well, how about this time I'll set the pace?
He doesn't like that.
So you don't set the pace, I'll set the pace. It doesn't seem like he's going to get on board with that.
He's already pushing back on it. He's like, well, if we go at your pace, we'll never get this done. Because he has to go on a business trip.
You're trying to land a sister wife before you go on a business trip. You should have been looking way earlier than this, right? Like, this seems like an unrealistic timeline now. Yessel just is under the impression that they are going to establish and have someone in their family before he leaves for this business trip. I don't think that's going to happen.
No, completely unrealistic.
No.
I think he's just thinking, okay, how many dates? Probably 1, 2, at least 3 dates, and then I'll get to sleep with them. So that's got to happen before I leave on my trip.
And we're really pushing that timeline now. So, like, we got to speed things along. He's trying to speed things up. Dani's trying to slow things down. And so she's just asking, hey, can we please go my speed this time around? Because when we went your speed last time, it didn't work out so great.
She has another big rule, and I don't know how this is going to go over with the other sister wife prospects.
Yeah, this is kind of a big one because this involves children. She doesn't want Yessel to have any biological children with the sister wife.
Okay, this feels like it was a big conversation that needed to be had before you ever came on a show called Seeking Sister Wife. Because doesn't it sound like they ever talked about this previously?
Really? Because a lot of their conversations feel like rehashes. They
think
feel
so?
like they're doing the conversation again for the camera.
I thought that he looked like a little shocked.
Okay.
Because this is devastating for him. Because it's going to severely reduce the number of women, most likely, that are interested in dating him.
I think that's the problem for him. It narrows the search. And I think subconsciously that's another benefit for Dani. Because she's kind of in tune with it, where she's like, I think I selfishly don't want this other woman to have a kid with you, because what if she has a baby girl? Like, she always wanted a baby girl. And so, like, that wasn't something that she was able to experience with Yessel. So if this other person comes in and then she gets to experience it, like, that would be very difficult to handle. So at least she is kind of being honest with herself. But also, I think the other part of it that she doesn't want to admit to is that it is going to slow things down. This is going to make it more complicated as part of their search.
I think the big problem here is that it looks like she only wants this for her benefit. And anything that would be a positive benefit to this other woman is a problem.
Yes. Yeah, that's an interesting part of it.
Because she doesn't want the other woman to have any biological kids with Yessel. Yet she wants that woman to be interested in helping her raise her own children.
Very interesting. And then, yeah, that kind of comes up in their conversation with Yessel's brother, Joel, who comes over for a visit. He's kind of their break the news person that they're going to tell, because Yessel's family is like very Catholic. They're expecting some pushback or not great reactions from most of his family in terms of what they're doing here. Why is Joel dressed like Bill Cosby, though?
I don't know.
Why did he show up in this way?
Yeah, she complimented the sweatshirt too, and I was like, I don't know, girl.
Maybe we could have done some alterations, some edits, though.
I liked Joel, though. He was funny.
Look, Joel is good for
Brought
TV.
the humor.
Yeah.
He thinks they're joking first, because this is coming out of nowhere for him. So I guess he doesn't know. Did they say that Yessel has cheated on her?
No, they tried to add previously, so I guess they weren't as public about it on their initial
last time. I don't know why, just in my mind, I have created this entire story that Yessel cheated on her for like pretty much the entirety of their relationship.
Well, because he like kind of did like where he was doing things as part of that dating, he was going too far or too fast with things where Dani was uncomfortable, and that almost ended their relationship. So like that was kind of like a cheating sort of experience that happened the last time they tried to do this.
I don't know why. It just feels to me like this is an attempt to legitimize him going outside of the marriage. But Joel gives us the title of the episode and he's like, what kind of freaky stuff is going on over here? He doesn't have a positive reaction, but I wouldn't say it's entirely negative. It's mostly focused on a lot of questions about how this is going to work, concerns about
there's a lot
some
of
of the things
what
that they're
if,
saying.
Yeah, like a lot of what if scenarios. But then he also turns attention to, well, Dani, how do you feel about it? And honestly, she still sounds apprehensive about it too. And then she has a weird, like, bang maid sort of idealistic approach of like what purpose this person would serve for them. Because Yessel gets to bang them, and then she needs help with the kids and support while Yessel's away. Okay, well, this is a person, a human being, who you're adding into this. What does that person get out of that relationship dynamic? Where everything is just supporting you?
That's what I'm saying.
That's not great.
No, and I don't even think that it really feels like she wants a sister wife necessarily.
No.
Because it doesn't feel like she really wants to have a relationship with this person. It's more like she wants to keep them at arm's length, but then have them be an extra body to be around the house to fulfill the partnership she should have with Yessel when he's not there.
Right, which I feel like is a lot of Anjelica's story too. Like Matt is a bad partner. That's the end of the story there. Period.
I think it's a
End of
little
sentence.
different. I think Matt's a bad partner as far as being able to fulfill the emotional side of the relationship. It sounds like he's very involved with the kids. Yessel, I think, is just like absent in a lot of different ways.
Well, yeah, and then
partially
that was,
because of his job.
Like with the Merrifields too, when Mark Ruffalo was joking with Garrick about, well, I could, sexually, I could probably have 6 wives, but when it comes to like emotional needs and stuff, I can barely handle 1. And that's where Garrick's like, oh, that's the trick, though, is if you get your sister wives to rely on each other for emotional needs, then you can have 6 wives for sex, and then you don't do any emotional work because that all gets outsourced to the wives. The wives tend to each other's emotional needs so that I, the man, don't have to.
That's going on in a lot of these relationships.
That seems to be a consistent point that we're seeing here.
I don't even think that Yessel and Dani are on the same page because he has a little side interview where they're talking about the rule about how the sister wife can't have any babies with him. And he doesn't think that's fair. Like he's thinking if this is going to work, everything has to be fair and even across both of these relationships. And that's a very big difference. And I agree with that.
Yeah, he's not wrong. Like, that's what's annoying about it. It's going to cause problems. It's going to cause friction from the onset, especially if you're coming into it where you're trying to start to date someone and then you're throwing that at them as like, oh, and by the way, there's this huge thing that you're not allowed to do.
I am wondering if he wants to have more kids and she doesn't because she mentioned not feeling safe conceiving again. And I don't know if, like, I don't remember part of her story that was told in the first episode, but there's some reason why she doesn't feel safe having another baby.
Yeah. I don't think they've said anything yet.
But maybe that's part of why he's taking up for this woman who doesn't even exist yet.
Right.
is he has a partner who he's not going to have any more children with. And now the next one he's being told, oh no, you can't have any with her either. And maybe he does want more kids.
Joel is confused and concerned because then even with the no bio rules, he's like, is that fair to this other person too? Because that doesn't sound very fair. And then it's like, well, not really, I guess, but also like it's a work in progress. We're still hashing out the details.
Isn't it strange that the rule is you just can't have kids with Yessel? Because she said it, well, if they have another, like a child, I guess with somebody else, either it's an existing child from another relationship, or if I guess they get pregnant by somebody else, that's okay. And they'll raise the baby within this like community of the three of them.
Yeah, I don't know if it was strictly like they were talking about previous relationships. So like if they're a single mom with kids from a previous relationship or, you know, whatever that setup looks like, if it was just focused on that, because then I don't know why they would be okay with like, they seemed very against having other men involved because that was something that Joel had asked about too. And it was like, whoa. No. That's not how this works.
Just feels like there's a lot of circumstantial stuff here where they're not really sure what they're looking for or how it's going to work. And usually when people are that confused, it goes really, really bad.
Well, yeah. And then that's what Joel's pointing out too, is that this is a concern because if you gamble on this, you have a pretty good setup right now. If you put this at risk, you could lose everything. Like this could end your relationship if this ends badly.
You know what I've noticed? So the two people who have come in to be part of the show, Yessel's ex-wife and now his brother, both seem very concerned that the relationship between the two of them is going to end.
Yeah.
I think that they really feel that Dani has been very good for Yessel.
Right.
And that if they were to get divorced, that would be a disaster and he would like go back to being a fuckboy or something. There's something about them together that people do not want them to break up.
Yeah. And I think Leah had said something to that effect too, of like the only reason why she has a good relationship with Yessel in like a co-parenting sort of scenario that they found themselves in is because of Dani.
I think they're the messiest of them all so far.
But like we haven't even gotten into anything. They haven't even gone on a date yet. So we get to see that in the preview for next week. They're gonna.
It looks like a very bad date, at least from Dani's perspective. I don't know how Yessel's feeling about it, but
I think Yessel's just excited to be back in
the game officially.
Back in the wild here, yeah.
And then Billie Jean and Reese are back, so we have that to look forward to.
Okay, yeah.
And Garrick gets his night with Roberta number 3.
Right in front of Dani, too. Gonna make her watch.
I love this show.
It's terrible. Like, it's rough. And I can understand why a lot of people don't like this show.
That's okay, because we love it.
But hey, yeah, we're here for it.
Maybe you're feeling disillusioned with Seeking Sister Wife. That's okay, because we have another podcast called Surviving Sister Wives, where we're recapping not only Sister Wives, which is currently on, but also Special Forces.
Because Cody Brown is among the cast who is still there. He has not dropped out from the Special Forces. So, I mean, that was 2 episodes in already. We were saying our initial guess when he announced was 2 or 3 episodes. I don't know. Is he going to make it?
He's going further than that.
I think he is going further.
And then we have a Patreon where we have hundreds of bonus episodes about all kinds of shows. You name it, we've got it.
We got some spoopy stuff lined up for October.
The world's your oyster.
But don't miss it. Yeah.
Thanks for listening. See you next time.